Okay, good afternoon to everybody. Today we are going to talk about anti-aging, specifically about polyphenols and more specifically about resveratrol. I hope you will enjoy it and you will gain some knowledge out of this webinar and we can do some good things going forward based on this. Okay, so our agenda for today has to do with anti-aging. So the general purpose of this webinar today is to help you formulate better products that are geared toward anti-aging, or some people call it age-defining. We talk about the skin, cosmetic level only. All my presentations are targeted to cosmetic people, personal care people, and provide information only for them to know. I don't really go into much details. I don't want to confuse anybody with too much information. So today we're going to speak about the big formula or the big group of molecules that's called polyphenol. And more specifically, we're going to talk about resveratrol. So you will learn about the botanical resveratrol, how does it work to change and to delay the signs of aging. So today I will speak about three major items. The first one is I would like to explain to you from what I learned from the literature, how our skin get older, how we generally get older, but how do we see it on the skin? And the whole theory behind telomere repair. Okay, so keep in mind, we talk about telomerization, telomeres, and how telomere can indicate the age of the cell. Then we'll talk about polyphenols. What are polyphenols? And we'll focus about a very specific polyphenol, the resveratrol. Then part number 3 and last, I'm going to talk about one technology that we developed utilizing resveratrol. So in the end of the day, you will know what is resveratrol, what does it do, why should you use it in the formula, how does it work, and what's the value and benefit for using a technology that delivers resveratrol. And I just want to tell you that the next week we are going to talk about more complex polyphenols, and then I will talk about Southfield natural anti-aging, which contains resveratrol, but also other polyphenols, more complex structure. So this is the session for today, and I hope everybody will enjoy it, including myself. So what is the problem? What is the problem that you're trying to address? The major problem is the signs of aging on the face. That's it. We know that at the age of about 30, we start to see forehead signs, smiling lines, and so on. Then we get to 40, we start to see some crow's feet foreheads and around the eye. This is where crow's feet typically can be seen. Then we go to 50s, then we start to see a sagging skin, we lose collagen, we have something that's called quippy texture and crisscross lines. It's all about wrinkles, dark circles, thin lips, and other signs of aging. So this is the problem they're trying to address. Now, how do we and why do we get older? So two factors that affecting our ability to get older. One is anything to do with intrinsic aging, just the fact that we get older and our body is getting tired, basically, okay? It's losing some energy, losing some ingredients, and this is called the intrinsic aging. It's a natural process, and it's typically characterized with fine wrinkles, thin skin, transparent skin, we're starting to lose the subcutaneous fat, which means the fat under the skin, and dryness. Okay, so this is the typical sign of intrinsic aging. What is extrinsic aging is when we have outside factors that accelerate the appearance of aging. So we see some prominent coarse wrinkles, increased hyperpigmentation, significant loss of elasticity, the skin become rough, and so on, as you can see in this picture. It's quite difficult to hide now, okay? So this is typically effect of the sun. Exposure to the sun, sunbathing at young age appears at the 50s. So now you know the trick. Okay, so what is the solution? The solution is practically given to us by nature. And this is all about the food that we eat and the drinks that we enjoy from nature. All these materials that you see in this picture contains polyphenol. So polyphenol is a structure class of mainly natural, but also synthetic chemicals that characterized by the presence of large multiples of phenol structure unit. Phenol, the smallest one that we are going to address is resveratrol. So these are 2 phenol units, and there are more complex phenol units like you see in this picture. I will not go further into the chemistry this time, but the multiphenol, this is the polyphenol group. Okay, what are polyphenol groups? So these are phytochemicals. They're typically produced by plants as a response to environmental stress, such as injury, such as a fungal infection or UV radiation. So they produce this material in order to protect the DNA, protect themselves. And the philosophy here is if it's good for them to protect themselves, maybe we can use it to protect ourselves as well. The specific polyphenol that I'm going to talk about is resveratrol. So this is the material that's found in red wine, and it's claimed to be the essential factor in the French paradox. What is the French paradox? The French paradox is what you see in this picture. 2 men, one of them eating a lot of food and maybe very oily food and red wine, and look at his figure. The other one is eating maybe a burger and drinking a soda, and look at his figure. So the paradox trying to explain how people eat a lot of cheeses with high level of fat and drink a lot of red wine, they have less heart attacks.